Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Salsabila Jaratun and I will be presenting about forensic linguistics, language can solve and prevent crimes. Abstract. Forensic linguistics as the interdisciplinary field which examines, defines, and investigates language in court as evidence to police, judges, and lawyers. Some text types of forensic linguistics are emergency call, ransom demands, and other threat communication, suicide letters, final death roll statements, confession, and denials by public figures. Moreover, several areas of forensic linguistics that can be investigated in law issues are auditory phonetics, acoustic phonetics, interpretation of express meaning or semantics, interpretation of inferred meaning or discourse and pragmatics, stylistic and question authorship, language of the law, language of the courtroom, interpretation and translation. Introduction. Forensic linguistics is a branch of linguistics that investigates, examines, or analyzes the language in the law field. In this case, the language concerned with the issues that occur in law cases such as crimes or disputes that lead to court that is used as evidence shown to police, lawyer, or judge. In other words, it covers all areas where language and law intersect. Application of forensic linguistics include both identification, interpretation of express meaning in laws and legal writings, analysis of discourse in legal settings, interpretation of intended meaning in oral and written statements, authorship, identification, and the language of the law. Forensic linguistics help non-linguistics such as investigators, judges, juries, lawyers, and to gain more information from language evidence. Discussion and analysis. Forensic linguistics is so new that its history is still being written. The phrase forensic linguistics was coined by Jan Sopardijk in 1968. It started in UK, USA, and Australia. In US, it started by self-incrimination of Ernesto Miranda confessed to raping an 18-year-old girl after 2 hours of police questioning, but the police never told him he had the right to a lawyer. Area of study forensic linguistics. First, post-identification is analyzes the acoustic qualities of the voice. Author identification, determining word a particular text by comparing it to non-writing samples of a suspect's. Discourse analysis, structure of writing or spoken utterance. Dialectology, determining which dialect of language a person speaks. Corpus used in forensic linguistics. 1. Legal language. In general, a legal language is a formalized language based on logic rules, which differs from the ordinary natural language in vocabulary, morphology, syntax, and semantics, as well as other linguistic features, aimed to achieve consistency, validity, completeness, and soundness, while keeping the main essence of human language such as intuitive execution, complete meaning, and open upgrade. 2. Language in the judicial process. Judicial process point of arrest, interview, charge, trial, and sentencing, the language of lawyers and witnesses, and the effectiveness of linguistic strategies in examination, in and cross-examination. 3. Language as evidence focuses on the study of written or spoken language, trademark disputes, authorship, forensic linguistics. Example of corpus. Language of judicial process. Did you see this woman? Did you talk to her? Yes. How long did it last? Seconds. I was passing by her. My hand touches her. I apologize. Taken from the journal article A New Approach to Identify Crimes in Iranian Society, Forensic Linguistics, a case of a boy who committed sexual assault on a woman who was his grandfather's teenage. Linguistic evidence. Emergency call, ransom demands, or other threat communication, and suicide letters. From where do we collect the linguistic data? 1. Types of forensic text that can be anything. However, forensic linguists focus on these things only for now. Emergency calls, the analysis of the voice of the speaker, ransom demand, video, audio or written, hate mail, and suicide letters. How we analyze linguistic data. Language is like a fingerprint. To reveal something about who they are through the use their linguistic choices, analyzers can have identified outrages. For example, the use of comparative method of our Australian ransom, where the kidnapper pretended to be an Asian gang, and from their language, forensic linguistics knew that they are native speakers of English. The challenge of a forensic linguistic. Forensic texts are usually short text messages or ransom notes. Therefore, we don't have enough data to establish a solid argument. Our language changes, so how can we be sure about the identity of the suspect? There is also a method called linguistic dialectology, which means that if they hear a criminal saying "wah" means yes in Algerian Arabic, they will conclude that this person is from west of Algeria. Due to social media and television, dialects become more similar than ever, so relying on this evidence may seem very weak statements. Forensic linguistics help in narrowing the suspect list, however, it is not yet able to certainly identify the criminal. Voice identification, also known as forensic phonetic. The goal is to produce an accurate transcription of what being said. Use audio recording, speaker profiling, for example, dialect, social background, age, and gender. Speaker identification to know exactly who is the speaker. The challenge of forensic phonetic, the quality of the recording because of the noise, which will make it so hard to have an objective transcription. The authentic of the recording. Conclusion: linguistic tools, syntactic, semantic, phonetic, and cognitive, can help interrogation improve or can identify the lies when the defense results to lying, even if the defense doesn't admit to lying. That's all about my presentation. Thank you.